Evening, everyone, and welcome back to my Psychic Connections live show with Cassidy, the Cardslinger, myself. I'm so excited to be here tonight. I hope everybody's having an excellent day, excellent evening, morning, wherever you're at. We've got viewers from all over the world, so thank you for tuning in for another show. It's been one heck of a lineup tonight. The Thursday shows are always amazing, lots of great readers, and the whole week is just bopping. So if you haven't checked out the other shows, make sure and do that. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Cassidy, the Cardslinger, and I am a professional card reader. I read tarot cards, oracle cards, playing cards, Lenormand cards. You could give me an Uno deck and I'd give that a go. Really anything that I can sling on my table, I will definitely go ahead and do that. I'm very passionate about all things divination, and I use a number of different tools in my both personal and professional practice. And it's always a real honor to be able to share this skill with all of you wonderful people. So welcome back to the show. How's everybody doing? Okay, this week has been an interesting one. Send me some kind of emoji if you feel weird this week. I don't know, give me like a little confused face or like a sideways thumb. I don't know what kind of emojis there are, but we were just having a chat there backstage, and the way I'm kind of describing this week is like if you're reading a book and your eyes are going over the words, but it's not computing. So if anyone's feeling some strange energies this week, Audrey says nuts. Hey, girl. Yeah, it's just Rebecca. Yeah, all these big eyes, 100%. It's a very peculiar energy this week. And if you want to know a little bit more about that, check out Squirrel's transit videos. She's releasing them every single week, and you can find them over on our YouTube channel. Just search My Psychic Connection, and she's going over all of the transits and how they impact each of us each week. So I won't cover that here because our professional resident astrologer does that so beautifully. So guys, we are streaming on, and I gotta say, over 180 different platforms here this evening. So that's mind-blowing and amazing. So as your questions are coming in, just know that we're keeping them in order, the exact order that they're in, and the folks in the back just do the best job with that. How things work, like I said, if you're new, go ahead and type in your specific question, and I'm doing free 2-minute readings. And if you'd like a little bit longer reading, we will have the donation link floating around in here. You can donate for a 3-minute reading, 5-minute reading, a mini reading, or a mega reading. The mini reading and mega readings are not timed. And mini reading, if you've got one question you've got, you really want me to look at, but the mega reading is a good fit if you've got a very complex situation, follow-up questions, things like that. So those options are available to you. Please do not ask me the following types of questions tonight. No legal, no medical, that includes pregnancy, no birth predictions, no death predictions, and no general readings this evening. If you're looking for a general reading, you can go over to mypsychicconnection.com and connect with one of the readers over there, and they can help you with that. But the other topics will be our no-fly zone here tonight. So why I ask for a specific question and some context if you can, it really just helps me connect, especially with these quick 2-minute readings. It gives me a bit of a sense of what's going on so that I'm not using that time to really just tell you what you already know. What's coming up in love? It's like, okay, that's an okay question, but how could I use that up? I'm looking for someone. I've been single for a while. I'm wanting to know, is that going to change for me soon? Or I'm currently dating someone, or let me know what your situation's at. It only takes a sentence or two, and it really helps me connect right to your situation, what's going on. So go ahead and start typing in those questions. What else do I want to say? Yeah, the donation link, those do skip the line. So if you really want your question answered, those will head right to the top if you'd like to go ahead and do that option. I don't know if there's anything else I meant to say. Yes, there is. It is Black History Month. So all month long, we are celebrating Black History Month here at My Psychic Connection. And I've got a couple of very interesting facts that I'm very excited to share with everybody tonight. And I'll sprinkle those into the show because they're very cool. They're both famous figures that we know. Everybody knows these names, but you don't always associate them or understand who the person was that actually influenced these famous figures and these characters. And I really think that those names should be shared. So I'm going to bring those into the show a little bit later. But I'm very excited to get into the questions. I'm going to go ahead and give my cards a good shuffle, and I'll be ready for my first question, please. Folks, we have a donation for a mini reading. Yay, right off the bat, I'm so excited. Thank you so much to Down and Over for the donation. It really, really supports the show. It makes me, look how happy I am. And I just, it's a mini reading. I'm not timed. I'm going to take my time here. So, folks, this is going to be what a mini reading looks like. I get to sink my teeth in. I'm going to have cards all over my table. We got different decks. Let's just push show notes aside. Let's dive in. So for Down and Over. Hi, darling. She says, will I be getting my groove back, if you know what I mean, or will I still hold the spider web contest, trying to loosen the webs? Girl, I think I know. I think I know what you're referring to here. So let me go ahead. You know what? I'm going to switch decks for this. I know the spread I want to do. I can take my sweet, sweet time. Let's pull this deck out. All right. Great question. Let's see if you will get your groove back. We're trying to loosen the webs. What would that say? An arachnophobe-free zone, shall we say. I actually have, there's a spider that lives in my window upstairs outside. And I call him her. I call that the morning spider. And every morning when I'm making my tea, the morning spider is out there waving her arms around. I digress. Let's take a look for Down and Over at the situation you're asking about here, about will you get your groove back. I'm going to lay a big spread for you here. Okay. All right. All right, my darling Down and Over. We got cards. Now let's get to talking. Okay, so where you're at right now, what's leading up to this, the root of the situation. Oh, there's so much here. Let's dive in. So the first card I have, I want to show this to you. It's the Six of Wands in reverse. So what I want to say, where you're saying, it's a cobweb sort of an area. It certainly feels like there hasn't been a satisfactory dusting in a while, shall we say. And almost like a real wondering is this ever actually going to be able to happen? Like, will I find somebody? And not necessarily like you're sitting there at home wondering, oh, will I find somebody? But a genuine inquisitive moment of like, is what I've had so far, it is what the past has shown me, the situation I'm at right now, like, is this it? It just feels like there's been not necessarily full-on opportunities that have passed you by, but it's like, I probably put myself out there a bit. Nothing's really stuck. I don't want to lower my standards such that it's just, I'm taking anybody in to deal with my cobwebs. I just kind of feel like, certainly not lost hope or anything like that, but more, is this it? Like, it's let me know how that sounds, because that's really the energy I feel like picking up surrounding the situation at the moment. What I'm going to say, like, looking at your past, kind of like the recent past here, I have the Page of Swords in reverse. And this particular Page of Swords is kind of funny because you've got this little tree here. It's making the side of an F, and I just almost get the sense of either like fuck boys or like just there being, what did she say? She says, there is a male, but he's young and it makes me nervous. Okay, well, that makes sense. That makes sense with this Page of Swords in the reverse. But hang on, though. Is this a current connection? Because if I'm looking at your past, this Page of Swords inhabits your past situation. And to me, this connection feels like something that was largely either internet based, over the phone based, not particularly in person, and he just fizzled away? She says yes. Okay, that makes a lot more sense, because that is the card I have for the past, and the card I have for the present is actually the Magician. So I like the sounds of that, especially in relation to this Six of Wands in reverse, because it's like, it's going to take a little more than just what do I want to say? Like, I'm not going to be just turning my head for nobody kind of a thing. She says, no, in person we've met. Okay, so that's right. That's this particular person. That makes sense. Sorry. I'm just saying, like, previously past to this, it feels like there was someone there where it's like it didn't really amount to someone. There was someone in the past that had wasted your time, is kind of how I feel about this particular card. But if I'm looking at where you're at right now, that seems to me being this more Magician card. Audrey says, I completely need to comment right now. Yes, there was. Okay, great. So that was like a little, a fizzle fly in the web that just fizzle flied out. Like, I'm liking the sounds of this Magician. What's interesting here, though, blind date gone wrong. Okay. Yeah, fuck boy. And I feel like that's really a bullet dodged type of energy as well. I don't know if that individual was also a younger person, but what I will say for sure is that there was a level of immaturity that would not have been able to withstand anything worth your time. Like, what you saw in that moment, what the blind date gone wrong, was like, I want to say a great thing to have happened, because it saved going any farther with this messed up soul. Or just a soul that's not right for you. Let's not be judgy. She says yes. Okay. When I'm looking at diving into the situation a little deeper, what's under the surface in terms of this facet, this area of your life, I have this Nine of Cups in reverse. It's a very beautiful and deep energy that, it stems with, I think, a very strong sense of self and a very real, I guess, happiness with your own company and with your own space. And I think that makes sense too in relation. She says, I don't know if I should let this guy have a chance to break me in, LOL. Okay, I like that. We'll get to there. We'll definitely get to that. But if I'm looking at kind of diving deeper into your self, he said he would. I like the confidence. I like the confidence on the Magician, because the Magician is someone who can back up that confidence. It's not like this Page of Swords where I'm like, screw this individual. But I want to say something to kind of keep in mind with what's at the root or underlying of this area of your life is, where I was saying, I think it relates quite well to this card, where it's like it's not just going to be anybody that turns my head. I feel like this is I've known a love that I am holding my bar to, that I'm setting the bar at. And in this moment, like, I just have a sense of happiness within myself. It's not like the right person couldn't change that. There certainly could be a bit of a barrier there where you're saying you don't know if you should let him in. You can even see that kind of here with this particular card. In the upright, he's sitting there with this curtain behind him. But I feel like deeper down, she says, yes, definitely true. There certainly is a sense with this card of keeping your heart guarded. And from one woman to another, I'm always going to think that that's the right move. But at the same time, I don't want to ever see that be something that could miss an opportunity, or, just having your heart a little too hard for the right person to be able to crack through. So I want to ask quite specifically about this person, because I'm getting an interesting sense of the future in your relationship space. But I'm going to use another deck here to just kind of understand this a little bit more. Because I'm actually going to finish the cards I have on my table here. I'm not done. I'm going to just go for it. When I look at the fears or something that could push away, that could harm your progression in the state, I have the World card. So again, it's very similar to this Nine of Cups in reverse. She says, yes, you're very correct. All true. Thank you for that. With this World card, it's kind of like, it's interesting because there's a fear of being almost too happy with your own company. Like, why would I bother? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I really missing out on? Or do I just don't want to necessarily open myself up, my family, my space to somebody else, because what I have isn't broken. So what I feel like is a fear or something that could sabotage or harm this is that sense of just a barrier is good because, a fence is going to keep the goats out. But at the same time, you want to have a good sense of the gate, right? So I'll just say that. In terms of what we're looking for, I really like this. I have the 10 of coins upright, and I feel like I'm looking for someone who has their shit together. I'm the exact opposite of sort of a recent experience with this page of swords in reverse, which is really why I'm saying that's not even at all what you were looking for. Might have been someone to help with the cobwebs, but no more than, and I don't even think that would have been that good, honey. But I really feel, what I love about this spread is I don't feel like your boundaries are so harsh that they would prevent the right person from coming in. But the fact that they're on my table means I need to really mention it, is what I would like to say. So I think you've got a very good compass, a very good orientation with what it is that you're looking for. I don't feel the need to say, keep your bar, raise your bar, things like that. I feel like you've got a very good, set, a good outlook when we're talking about that. So in terms of your expectations for what's coming up, I have the Empress. She says, yes, I don't want someone to take care of, but more like someone to walk my steps. Absolutely, like a partner. If you look at this particular card here, we have these two people. They are looking eye to eye. And I love this card. It doesn't have the baggage of some of the other cards. It's not, and while you're saying you don't want someone to take care of, like, you don't need anyone to take care of you either. Like, you're great. You're doing well on your own. And there's a concern of what that might do to who you are and how you live your life, because it's not, I don't need to get rid of what I have because what I have is good. So I'm looking for someone to fit and to meet me where I'm at and have a similar value set to what I have, as opposed to, shrinking the bar down or anything of that nature. She says, yes, correct. Yes, I'm very independent. Beautiful, darling. I like that a lot. So I'm going to take a look at this person that you're seeing now, because I want to ask very specifically about this one, because what I see coming up in your near term, I have this card here. I have the Moon card. And what I need to do now is actually pull one other card on this card, because I want to see which side of itself it is showing. So give me one moment. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a little more clear. Here's what I want to say about this younger individual. Hang on. Okay. I think it's worth your time to entertain it, if you know what I mean. But I don't feel like it's aligned to what you're really looking for in the long term. And I'm so sorry to say that, because I like this magician energy. She says he's very handsome. It's hard to look away from him at times. And I really like that. He probably is a rather smooth talker, appears to have his shit together. Like, this magician card is just beautiful. I don't think he's a bad person. But when I kind of look into what's coming next with that, I clarified my Moon card with the Devil card here. So to me, that's showing a bit of a rocky road with this individual when I'm looking like if I want to find a relationship. Now, if you're looking for the cobwebs to be dusted, I don't feel like he's a bad option. I feel like he can, dust the cobwebs and maybe leave some air freshener and some flowers in there on his way out. Like, I feel like he can make the space nice. I love talking in metaphors. Please ask me more questions in metaphors, people. This is just like feeding such a nerdy part of me that loves metaphors. But when I look at kind of what's coming up between you two, and that's another thing with this Devil card as well, right? Like, this could be experimenting in that space. What kind of tools does he bring to his what would you call that? Like, exterminators that come in and deal with cobwebs. Like, what kind of tools does he bring? Like, what, you know what I mean? This card is a little bit kinky in a sense, and I feel like it can be pretty fun. But that Moon card, when I'm looking at an actual relationship sense, I don't feel like he's gonna just get She says, LOL, oh my God, yes, I'm older. He won't get attached, I hope. Let's take a look at that. Because I'm just like, so I'm going to finish, sorry, the cards I have on my table here. I'm always just so quick to like, jump. So I feel like he's going to be a fun, bumpy ride, darling. But then when I see past that, is I have the 7 of Cups in reverse. So to me, it feels like we're back looking for something better. Not even better. There's nothing wrong with this dude. Let me be very clear. He's just maybe not the right dude for a longer term connection. I'm sorry, but that is really how I feel. But I do think he's worth your time. The flirtatiousness seems fun. I feel like he could teach you some things. I feel like you could teach him some things. She says he has lots of heartbreak. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just take a quick look into that though for him. With what goes on, I don't feel where you said you're not looking to take care of someone. I don't see that complex rearing its head here. Like he's not looking for, this age difference to find somebody to take care of him. So to me, that's not what's causing any problems here. But let's see for him from his perspective. Yeah, I mean, this is very interesting. I love this message. And thank you so much again for your donation. Look at how much fun I get to have when I get to sink my teeth into your questions, folks. So first card I have here for him, and how this is going to go for him. I have Temperance upright. Is he going to get attached? Maybe a little. Maybe a little. I'm not going to lie. There is certainly a blending energy here that's a bit more genuine. I'm liking this guy. I feel like maybe not necessarily the heart on the sleeve type, but I don't feel like he's here to mess you around, except for the good way. Thank you very much. But I would worry about his heart though too, especially because you said, oh my gosh, next card I have is the 3 of Swords in reverse. He has been through a lot, and it's beautiful to see someone who's not so marred by their past that they're not willing to love and not willing to, put some LOL. I'm sorry, I will stop. You get the picture. I think I want to say you're what he's looking for, but he's probably not exactly what you're looking for. If we're looking for a longer term love related connection, what I'm seeing with this 10 of coins, if you're looking for that person to walk beside you and meet you in that level of maturity, and that level, and not an age maturity, but just with what you guys want in life, how you get about your day, I feel like he's not the perfect match for a long-term thing, but I like the dude. I would say, from your end, like, it's weird because on his end, I feel like he's genuine, but then I've got this moon and this devil here. So it's almost like he could be a bit deceitful. He could be a bit of a challenging, confronting type energy. But then when I look on from his side, like it's genuine, and he's like not intentionally screwing you around, but I've got like a little bit of screw around-ish energy here. So I would say don't offer up your heart. Be gentle and careful with his as best you can. And darling, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. So I'm gonna have one more card, an oracle card here, to just kind of see what the overall message is from my sacred travelers. She says, thank you so much, Cassidy. I won't break him, but I don't mind a broken hip. Darling, yes. I mean, come on. That looks like a good time. Let's see. What do we have here? Oh, my word, my word. Okay. Okay, so the first card I have, it says narrow pathway. It says tread thoughtfully. So I think that makes a lot of sense to sort of what we were talking about. In the sense of, I think he's got a heart to be a little more gentle with, because he's a sweetie in his own little way. I like that a lot. The other card I have here, it says fellow travelers. It says support is all around you. So to me, it's kind of interesting because it's like there's this treading on this skinny little path, and then, the way it's sitting on my table. Sorry, it's actually like he's kind of treaded the path, and now he's at this support is all around you, fellow travelers thing. So to me, it feels like there's a wonderful connection. And don't skip this one. don't skip this one. I do feel like there's a wonderful connection to come on the other side of this. So that's what I want to say, like I see here. But, you know, enjoy this one. Have fun. Be safe. Or don't. Just take care of yourself, darling. I'm excited for you. And thank you so very much, my dear, for your question, for your donation. Gosh, that was so much fun. Yeah, I'm going to need just a hot second here to put all of my cards back together because I have so many cards on my table. She says, thank you, Cassidy. You are very, very welcome. It's my absolute pleasure. So let's get my cards back. And that's an interesting, like, I will just say this generally speaking to anybody. When we get readings, and I get the question, you know, will this last? Is this the love of my life? Is this my person? Is this the one? Will we get married? It's an interesting line to tread as a reader because every relationship, you know, there's something for us in all of our relationships with people. And just because something is short doesn't mean it's insignificant. And I feel like people get that as a wider concept when you're talking about, you know, if you look back on your year last year and I spent a week in this amazing place, it's like we know that that wasn't amazing because it lasted forever, but what it brought in that week was so special that I've got pictures and I took that cooking class and I ate that feta that I can't stop talking about. Like, we understand the impact of shorter term experiences in life, but then sometimes when we talk about relationships, there's so much tied to the longevity of it. And I get it because I get it. We're sharing our hearts, our body, our home with other people. So it's not to say that that's not valid or anything like that, but just, I would hate to ever skew someone from their path from a relationship saying this maybe wouldn't necessarily last, but like, it's great for you. Like, this really, like, go have fun. And that's wonderful too. So before I hop into my next question, I do want to share my first fact. And this one is kind of interesting because I'll just sort of tie it back to where I ended up coming across this fact. Someone had asked me recently where my name, Cassidy the Cardslinger, came from. And Cardslinger was a word that I took from the word gunslinger. And the definition of a gunslinger is a person noted for speed and skill in handling and shooting a gun. Well, it's like, I want to be known for speed and skill with shuffling, shooting, you know, my cards across the table. So this brings me to my fact actually about the Lone Ranger. So everybody knows the Lone Ranger. It is actually believed that was based on the life, the events, and that character is a representation of a gentleman named Bass Reeves. And he was a black gentleman. He was born into slavery and ended up fleeing west during the American Civil War. And he actually ended up becoming a deputy U.S. Marshal. And he had a very, very interesting life. But it's, again, one of those situations that, you know, the Lone Ranger, we don't know his actual past or story, or the fact that he was based on a black person, right? So just keep these things in mind. It's very interesting that the characters and the references we have, the technology we have, the things that we experience that were invented, created, inspired by people from the Black community, and they don't get the credit for it. So spend some time this month on Black History Month just learning some things. So please, guys, share me out on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you're at. That friend that's asking you what they should do with their life, send them my link. And be sure to come back all night. I'm the last one tonight. All week, I should say. I'll just quickly let you guys know on Monday nights, we've got Journey Ryan live at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Journey kicks ass if you haven't seen him. I'm sure you guys all have, but make sure you're at his show. Tuesday nights, we've got the amazing, the beautiful Destiny K, Divine Love and Light at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Then Wednesday's a great week as well. We've got Journey Ryan live back at 10 o'clock Eastern, and Squirrel Whispers of the Forest. Just that show. Oh, you can be having the worst day and you turn on her show, you watch her read, it just, man, she lights up the most beautiful parts of us. So Whispers of the Forest is with Squirrel on midnight Wednesday night. So that's like that between Wednesday and Thursday. Destiny K is back on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Journey Ryan is Thursday at 10 o'clock. Myself is Thursdays at 11 o'clock Eastern. And then Friday is actually Journey Ryan and Friends, which is such a fun show. Journey's there, a bunch of psychics. They're playing games and drinking, having a really good time. And that is from 8 to 10 o'clock on Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. So be sure to follow us wherever you're at. And I'll shuffle you guys over to our YouTube channel. Find us, My Psychic Connection, on YouTube, because we've got some, like, so many cool videos coming out. There's daily card videos. There's the Tarot Squirrel's got her astrological forecast for the week. She's also got this phenomenal Mythology of Astrology series that's only airing on our YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out all over on our YouTube channel. Rebecca says we went from lawn mowing to cobweb cleaning. If you were not at Squirrel's show last night, oh, Rebecca, I want your lawn to be well taken care of, my darling. Oh, I was in tears. I was so glad I wasn't the person on camera last night, because I was bawling, laughing. Anyways, I will zip, and I'm ready for my next question, please. Audrey, hey girl. Oh, Audrey's such a doll. Audrey says, hey, amazing woman. Is Cassandra, Wesley's ex-wife, trying to act like a normal person right now to get him? She is nothing but games for 3 years now and currently teaming up with another horrible person. I don't like the sounds of this. Charlene to imitate Wesley's best friend's new girlfriend. Charlene to imitate Wesley's best... Okay, so Wesley's best friend, new girlfriend, is this Charlene woman, and she is teaming up with his ex-wife, and this woman is acting nice. Okay. Can you just pull up, sorry, what was the original question again? Is she trying to act like a normal person right now to get to him? Okay. Let's take a look at what's going on with this Cassandra woman, all that she's doing. She's conniving, but let's see. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh. Okay. Thank you, my darling, for your question. Cassandra. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, I definitely feel, she said, like she's being nice to him, but horrible to another. Okay. So cards I have here, I got the 8 of Pentacles upright. I have the 9 of Wands, and I have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Other cards on my table, 9 of Cups reversed, Page of Coins reversed, and the Sun reversed. So I feel like there's definitely an element of, like, if there are children involved, particularly in that relationship in some fashion. But anyways, yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like this is absolutely an act. This 8 of Pentacles is a little bit too, like, why do I have a card working on your craft, being very meticulous with what you're doing, when I'm talking about how somebody is acting towards somebody else? Then I have this 9 of Wands, which to me, this is a little bit of a combative type of 9 of Wands. And then I have this Ace of Cups reverse, where it's like, I feel like she's aware that crazy bitch won't work, is what I want to say. She says, yes, kids on both sides. Yeah. This one looks a little calculated, my darling. I'm sorry to say. But thank you so much for your question. I do hope that was helpful. Conniving people be everywhere. And I mean, especially with this extra strange energy we have going on right now. I'll usually live by the phrase, trust no one but your cards. But, anyway, I don't like that. I don't like that energy. It's fake. Let's just say fake. Fake is, like, problematic when you are conducting yourself. And we'll leave it at that. I'm ready for my next question, please. And I will say, guys, the donation link is open if you want to make sure you get your question in tonight. It'll be open for another maybe 11 minutes or so. And you'll be guaranteed to get a reading this evening, in case you're interested in that. Taylor. Hey, Taylor. Lovely to see you, darling. Taylor says, will my apartment application be accepted by Chestnut Hill Towers apartment? Girl, this is how you word a question. Thank you. Will my apartment application be accepted by Chestnut Hill Towers apartment? Let's take a look at that, my dear. Do we see that application being accepted? All right, my darling. So what I want, very interesting. So So with this particular apartment, wow, I feel like this means a little bit more to you than necessarily just, dropping the hat. I'm going to throw my note, throw my nose. I don't know what that means. Like just throw my application in the bin. It feels to me like this is certainly a very important matter. Where I see this at right now, this is in the judgment phase. So it's kind of interesting where I feel like they are actually looking at your application, evaluating it, checking out your criteria, and it's not something that's been, shuffled one way or the other. Next card I have here, I've got the Seven of Swords, and then I have the Six of Pentacles. With this Seven of Swords, I just want to say make sure you have everything that they've asked for. If they've asked, credit check, reference, whatever, just be 100% sure that they have everything, because it almost feels like there's a piece that might be missing. So if there's some way you can follow up, I think that's definitely worth your time. The next card I have is the Six of Pentacles, and you can see this woman. It's a woman, handing this coin over to this person, and they're standing outside a building with scales. It's beautiful. To me, this seems like an offer of residence. So I absolutely do. What I want to say is, yes, I feel like your application is going to be accepted. And I feel like there's a strong caveat here with the Seven of Swords reversed. Make sure your application is not missing anything. So thank you, my darling. Look at that. That was pretty good timing. Thank you very much, my dear. I do appreciate your question, and I really wish you all the best. Certainly good luck. Good luck with that. I think it's a good time for my next fact. I had 2 facts here tonight, and who here knows Betty Boop? Does anybody know Betty Boop? Everybody knows Betty Boop. Well, Betty Boop was actually, again, this is someone who is based on a woman named Esther Jones, or her stage name. She was better known as Baby Esther. And she was a Harlem-based jazz singer, and she was known quite famously for booping in her songs. And I had this written down. So it's boop boop a doop was what she would do in her songs. And she inspired another woman who then, I can't remember her name, sorry, but this is about Esther Jones. There was another woman that essentially branded herself around booping as well. And then that second woman sued the creator of Betty Boop because they had said that they had used basically her likeness for this character. And I believe it was brought up in court that actually you stole it from this other woman, so she didn't get no money. So when you think Betty Boop, think Esther Jones, think Baby Esther, the jazz singer who was behind and who, I guess, inspired the catchphrase of one Miss Betty Boop. Taylor says, thank you. You're very welcome, my dear. All right, get these cards a good shuffle. This is a really cool deck. It's got I don't even know how to describe it. These cards are almost squishy or I don't know. They're shuffling quite interestingly. So let me go ahead and get these ones nice and shuffled. Be sure you're sharing me around. Please be liking and commenting, and also guys, during the show, if there's ever anything you just like to see discussed, or have something that we weave into our shows, feel free to ask. I like to know what's going on with everybody, and always send me some emojis, guys. Whatever emojis are getting you through this strange week, whether you need a flower or a glass of wine emoji, or just I'd love for everybody to share with me what emoji they would need to get themselves through this week, and I'll see it pop up on my screen, and it's just a beautiful thing. Okay, I'm ready for my next question, please. Haley. Hey, Haley. All right, Haley asks, when I go back to physical therapy school in August 2023, oh my gosh, that's this year, to retake my gross anatomy class, do you believe I will have more knowledge going into the course to be confident enough to pass? Oh, this is a great question. When I go back to physical therapy school this August to retake my gross anatomy class, do you believe I will have more knowledge going into the course to be able to be confident enough to pass? Oh, that is an awesome question. All right, let's take a look at this for the darling Haley. All right, my dear. So, oh, lovely. What I'm seeing right now with this Chariot card here upright is I feel like whatever you're doing right now, whatever it is that you're doing right now is actively preparing you for this class. So I don't, and to me, like whether you're working in this field already or you're studying this, you're doing it on your free time. To me, it feels like the Chariot card is like I am pursuing this particular thing that, you know, it may not even be here already, but I am immersing myself in it. So if you find that to be the case, that's beautiful. You know, you're certainly on the right track. Will you know more to go into it? Here I have the Strength card in reverse. So I definitely feel like what you're working on right now will certainly help, because this Chariot card is a beautiful energy that is like, I am going to, you know, I'm going to continue this momentum. That's where I'm thinking of into this class. The Strength card in reverse is saying to me, this class is perhaps a bit more of a bear or a lion, if you will, than you're maybe expecting at the moment. So I don't want to say this, but maybe don't go in necessarily with too much confidence, because to me, it feels like this course by its nature is very chunky. There probably is either a lot of memorization, a big, finish my sentence, like a really big textbook. She says, yay, awesome. I'm working in the field and trying to study more now as well. Certainly. I would definitely say continue with that, my dear. That definitely seems like you're on the right track. But excellent question. Thank you so very much. Rebecca needs some chocolate to get through this week. Laura needs a drink. That to me, maybe a little bit of whiskey on ice, something like that. That's beautiful. I am loving these emojis. Thanks, guys. I don't know what I would need right now. Maybe a book, maybe some cards. She says, yes, it's very chunky, 100%. Thank you so much for the reading. Appreciate it. Thanks again. You are so very welcome, my dear. I really wish you good luck with that, certainly. So guys, make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. In case you're just popping in, we have got some really exciting content that is basically YouTube only. So make sure you are following My Psychic Connection over on Facebook. And between these shows, we have an amazing lineup of shows. But between them, if you're like, I got a question, I need to reach out to somebody, go over to www.mypsychicconnection.com and you can connect with the psychic of your choice. Have your questions read, have your questions answered, have your cards read, all that good stuff. All right, my darlings, who do we have next? Rebecca, hey girl! Rebecca Wood. Rebecca asks, hey Cassidy, I hate that I feel solar plexus energy when something bad is about to happen. Do you see anything going on? Are you feeling that right now, my dear? Let's take a look at that. She says she hates when I feel it. Do I feel like something bad's going to happen? So I'm going to take a look at that. And I'm assuming that means you're feeling it right now. So let me just try and get a sense of what your solar plexus energy is pointing you towards. She says, yeah, thank you so much. This is for Rebecca Wood. What's going on with your solar plexus energy? Okay, my dear. All right. So first of all, the card I have down, this is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So this is actually very cool because I want to say that this is an internal guidance system that it's not the first time it's reared its head, and it's probably why you're even asking this question. But it's very cool because to me it feels like this is I want to say this is really something you can count on, and it's something that has proven in the past, like, hey, when I feel this thing, something off ends up happening. So I just want to say, like, straight off the bat, like, that's a beautiful gift to be able to have within yourself. Next two cards, I have the Chariot in reverse, and then I have the Two of Wands. And this Two of Wands, you can see her. She's a beautiful ballerina dancing up on a high rope. So what I want to say, she says, absolutely. That Chariot reversed. To me, that's not catastrophic energy by any means. She says many times. That's beautiful. I feel like something that has momentum is likely going to either slow down or maybe take a break a bit unexpectedly. But with this Two of Wands, I feel like it revives itself really quite quickly. It's kind of like, I don't know, an unexpected stop sign in the path that then might initially seem a bit trickier than it is going to be, or even maybe more expensive. I'll just say I don't see that having longer term effects, my dear. But thank you so much for your question. That was a great question. Very nice question. And I do thoroughly appreciate it. And I hope that was helpful. So good luck to you. That's very cool. I love that as well. Questions surrounding our gifts, how we receive information. anything spiritual related. And I love every question. I love work questions, love questions. They're all great. But I don't know, sometimes the spiritual related questions just really hit when you're looking into how somebody else is experiencing a gift or a skill that they have. And it's really beautiful to be invited into that through a reading. She says, thank you with a purple heart. You are very welcome, my dear. Thank you so much for everybody who's here tonight, continuing to keep this party going. We got questions rolling in, and I do appreciate all of the comments and the emojis bopping here in the chat. So I'm ready for my next question, please. We have another donation. Yay! Thank you so very much. We have a 3-minute reading. Audrey, my darling, thank you so much for your support, for supporting the show, for supporting me, for always being here and just making the energy in here wonderful. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch decks quickly here before I get this question up. Okay, Audrey says, is my daughter Kaylee ever going to learn her lesson? She always blames everyone else for her actions. We've had a community site of calling. We have a community site of calling people out, and she's been on it twice publicly. Okay, I'm gonna look at that. I don't quite understand when you say you have a community site. Is this like a Facebook page or something? You call people out on their shit? I don't know. Let me know a little bit more about what's going on there. But I'm gonna just go ahead and lay a spread to ask if your daughter is really gonna learn her lesson in this regard. So let's take a look at this. What's going on with your daughter Kaylee? Okay. She says rants and raves. Okay, let's take a look here. All right. All right, my darling. So when I'm looking at kind of what's going on beneath the surface, what's under this, 2 cards I have here, I've got the Magician. She says, when you do something wrong, it's posted on Facebook. Ah, very interesting. Okay. So we have these 2 cards here, the Ten of Swords reverse and the Magician in the reverse. To me, I'm trying to get a sense of why she's doing this and why she can't own up to the mistakes she makes. And what I want to say, to me, this is really feeling like a low self-esteem, a low self-worth. And if someone, this is not excusing this behavior for the record, but I'm just looking at it from her perspective, where it's like, I can't handle my image being attacked. I take it very personally. And to me, with this Magician reverse, she probably doesn't necessarily make it seem that way. It's like, you call me out and I will either I will double down on coming at you for it. I will deflect. And I will speak with such conviction that you might, believe me for a hot second. But I want to give her a bit of sympathy here, because with this Ten of Swords, I feel like it's seated in a sense of, I don't want to be perceived in this light, in this particular way. She says, I think she's like her dad, a bit narcissistic. Yeah. And here I have on that note, I've got the Two of Cups in reverse. So I certainly feel like that is a learned behavior pattern, and it's coming also from a mimicry, respectfully, monkey see, monkey do, right? Like I understand kind of how to navigate certain relationships based on how I have either had a relationship navigated with in that sense. Will she ever learn her lesson though? So to your question, I feel like it's a little way off. I'm sorry to say. I've got the 2 cards here, the Three of Swords in reverse and the Three of Coins in reverse. And I will just say it's not something I don't think that can be fixed. Either professional help might be a good way to go, because I do see this shifting. But I'm not going to say it's a ways down the line. This is a ways down the line. I think some level of intervention could really do her good. So thank you very much for your donation and for your question, my dear. I do hope that was helpful. And man, that's a tricky thing to experience. I know the feeling, especially in a professional environment. That that would be one of my professional pet peeves, when people aren't able to take criticism or to own up for their mistakes. Um, it's a tricky thing. She says, "Okay, yeah, I agree. Thanks. You're very welcome. Thank you for your donation. I really appreciate it." I was just saying, like, it's it's a very, man, that's certainly a lesson that re-humbles me often, when people don't take, like, accountability is that word, right? If you're not accountable for your action, like, I will be the first person. If I screw up, I'm gonna let it feel like I'm gonna let people go, especially if there's something that can be fixed. Because I mean, we're human, we make mistakes, but like, I don't like that additional layer of tendency where it's like, I can't, or where people don't own up to their crap. Like, own up to your crap, people, and then you can change. Some people don't want to change, and I'm, not necessarily in the business of changing minds, although it would definitely be nice. So thank you again, Audrey. You're such a doll. We're heading in, oh my gosh, the last 10 minutes of the show. I will get in a couple more questions, but do make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel. You're following us over on Facebook, on YouTube, My Psychic Connection, so you can stay in touch with all of the really, really cool stuff that's coming out. And, please do share us with your friends. I know this video is coming to a close, but definitely keep us in mind those points in the week when you're wondering, what should I do here? I wonder how this is going to go. Like, how do I deal with this person? Come to us, darlings. We are here for you. All right, I'm ready for my next question, please. Max Ma. All right, Max. Thank you for being here. Max says, anything for me, please, ahead with the finances. All right, my dear. Let's take a look at what's going on for Max. If we take a look at your financial situation, let's take a look. For Max. All right, 1, 2, and 3. All right, my dear. So taking a look at your financial situation, sort of what's going on, I feel like there's quite a bit on you to be the person, and this is going to maybe sound silly because it's like we all have to, financially take care of ourselves. The first card I have here is the 8 of Cups upright, and in this particular deck, she's holding this big bag, and I don't know if you've like either recently left a job, left a position. To me, it feels like a recent shift in your financial situation, where it's like the financial situation changed, but the responsibility that I have to be the person to, keep myself, my family, whatever the situation is, financially afloat, that burden or that weight is still very much so on me. When I look at kind of what's coming up here, I have this card here. It's the 4 of Wands, and I like this card, especially in a career context and in a financial context. The 4s tend to be very stable, secure. Certainly a shift of environment if you've experienced one quite recently with this 4 of Wands. I don't know if you are changing jobs, but to me, this certainly looks like somebody, either a new collaboration, a new job, some particular happening where your financial situation is changed directly by a relationship you have with somebody else. It doesn't necessarily need to be a love relationship, but it could be a financial partnership or something like that. The next card I have here is the 5 of Wands upright. So thank you very much for your question, Max. I do hope that was helpful, and I certainly wish you all the best. I'm going to get these cards shuffled back in. The texture of these cards, guys, is so interesting. They're almost like an eraser, or like, I don't know. I'm sticking them together. I really like this deck. I haven't gotten to use it enough, apparently. Maybe I need to put some powder on it or something to shuffle it all in. But I'm ready. Yeah, guys, we have 5 minutes in the show left. That is absolutely crazy. So I will be about to take my last question here. But if you didn't get a chance to get a reading tonight, definitely come back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 Eastern time for Journey Ryan and Friends. It's an amazing show. You can get readings with, a host of incredible psychics, and it's always such a good time. If I'm not on the show, I will be watching it always, because it is always such a good time. So make sure you're tuned in for that. I am throwing cards on the floor. My cards are ready to wrap up, but I do have time for one more question, so I'll go ahead and take that now, please. Shakti, hey Shakti! Shakti's a doll. Shakti asks, hi Cassidy, hope you are great. I am, thank you so much. How will my plan with the meditation technique work out for me, please? Oh, wonderful. I'm going to switch decks for this one. That's a great question, Shakti. Let's take a look for your meditation technique, your plan for your meditation technique. How does that look? Let's take a look. Ooh, Shakti, darling. Okay. Wow, beautiful. I don't know if this is a completely new plan. I feel like elements of this might be familiar. So either you're a seasoned practitioner of meditation. If that's not the case, there's definitely a level of familiarity with the practice you're about to embark upon. I've got 3 cards from my Oracle deck here. I have Umbrella, I have Harp, and I have Chalice. Oh, they're so beautiful. And then the tarot card I had was the Queen of Cups upright. So with this harp, this is quite lovely, especially in a meditative energy sense. I don't know if there's a soundtrack in relation to it. To me, it doesn't sound like it's a silent meditation, or if it is, let me know. But with this harp, that's definitely the sound of a music playing, either a guided session or having some level of waves, or like beta waves, something playing to really get you into that space. With these, she says, yes, I've done it before, but thinking of a new method. I really like the idea of this new method. With this umbrella, I feel like it's going to be something that's good to help feed into other aspects of your meditative practice. I feel like this one is going to certainly be useful. And she says, I use my own voice, and yes, theta waves. Oh, that's so cool. This harp, it's beautiful. Okay, and with this chalice, this is just such a beautiful, just such a wonderful healing meditative energy. It's very deeply spiritual as well, I'll say, with these 3 cards. So the level of connection you're looking to find through this technique looks great. It looks really good. So thank you so much for your question, my dear. I appreciate you being here. We have a last-minute donation. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Shakti says, you're amazing. Thank you. You're welcome, my dear. Oh, Elise, hi, darling. We have a donation for a mini reading. Awesome. So again, this one is not timed. I can dive right in. I am going to take my time, because I certainly can. Hi, Elise. Hope you're doing well, my dear. Elise says, do you see me and Alex getting together? If so, does it look like a long-lasting relationship? Okay, I'm going to switch decks here. Excuse me, I'm just going to wet my palette quickly. There we go. Nobody wants a hoarse voice for their mini reading. So let's take a look at this. Awesome. Do you see me and Alex getting together? Elise, my dear, can you just I would say confirm with me, are you, like, you're just currently friends? You're not together at the moment? Because you're asking if I see you getting together. Oh, okay. Cards are flying. Awesome. Miss you guys and love your face. Oh, I miss you and I miss your face as well. Oh gosh, sorry. I'm going to just pop these cards back over here. So let's take a look. Do we see you getting together? I am very sorry. Was his name Alex? Could you just pull that one up one more time? I'm so sorry. I believe you said that was his name. Yes, thank you so much. Do we see you and Alex getting together? I know you're not currently together. Thank you very much. All right, let's take a look at your connection with Alex. Okay. Okay. Just going to get a couple more cards down and see where he's at. What's going on here? What's going on with Alex? Ooh. Sorry. Well, okay, hold on one second. I like to get all my cards down and then I can talk. So I apologize for just tuning out. All right. So, my dear, this is lovely. When I'm first looking at where you're at in relation to him, it'd be fair to say there's been a little bit of maybe an interesting past. She says, yeah, it's complicated. Oh, well, okay. Oh, this is quite interesting. I feel like there's some kind of thread of connection between you two that's been, I would say, it's not a yesterday thing. There seems to be a bit of a past relationship, longer thread of connection here between you two, but something that's maybe never quite lined up. It feels like a bit of a wave where it's like maybe I'm over here, he's over there. We never kind of stop thinking about each other necessarily. But there's always been a question mark of like, will this happen between us? This isn't just like you're asking this question because this moment you're wondering. This feels to me like a thread of a theme going on up until now. She says, yes, it's weird. Okay. What I'm looking at with what's going on with him right now, I mean, these cards are a little bit tricky when I'm trying to look at someone open to a new connection. First card I have is the Eight of Swords, and I have the Devil reversed, and I have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So, I mean, not to just be like all the way keywordy with that, but certainly these cards are pointing to me he's not particularly the freest of birds at the moment. I don't know if he's tied up in another relationship, if he's working on getting out of something, but I feel like he wishes he was freer than he is. I feel like if situation was not what it was, and I almost feel like you on your end, where I've got this the Seven of Wands here upright, it's like we're saying it's complicated. It's like your situation's complicated. She says he is. Yes, we both are. Okay. His situation's complicated. Your situation's complicated. So this is. I'm glad you donated because my gosh, trying to do this in 2 minutes. This is very interesting. So yeah, I certainly feel like there's an against the odds kind of a feel when I'm looking at you two trying to come together, but you're both definitely seem to have your heads turned by one another. So if you guys have been talking recently, I feel like it's have to be kept like rather secret, under wraps, undercover, because both of your main cards here have the Four of Swords and the Eight of Swords. So I don't know if these are later night texts or things like that. She says yes. And then the second card I have, I got the Seven of Wands, and then I had that Devil reverse, so mirroring each other on either side, where it's like, yeah, you're both complicated. In some ways, there's threads that are similar between the two, but also in other ways, I mean, you're not living the same exact situation on either side. And with him, it feels like this Nine of Coins in reverse beside this Devil. I feel like the woman he's dealing with, or the partner he's dealing with, is, I just got the word ball buster, and I'm going to just throw that one right out there for everyone's enjoyment. When I look at though, what he's wanting with you and what he would be interested and open to having with you, man, this is interesting. Like, ooh, this is a complicated situation. She says, oh my God, but oh my God, so similar. It's weird. Yeah, I see that. When I'm looking, yeah, she is crazy. Okay. Yeah, that's too bad. That rather manipulative energy. I feel this is sort of like stealing the phone, locking the door, having people spying. Like, you know what? Like, I mean, this is and I've said this before. Special breed of crazy type energy. I want to know though how he's feeling like surrounding you, towards you, what he would be interested in with you. I have the Six of Cups in reverse, and I have the Five of Cups in reverse, which is interesting because I don't know if at some point in the past there was like a moment of almost. She says petty AF. That's funny. Is she a bit of a princess too? Hello, the movement. Is she a bit of a? I don't know. I feel like she maybe has a bit of a nose up kind of attitude in a sense. She's, and again, looking through the eyes of him at her. I'm not just trying to objectively judge this woman, but I'm like, this is not the right fit. Her and him, they're not the right fit for each other. This is like, she says yes recently, and I chickened out. Okay, because that makes a lot of sense with these two cards, the Six of Cups, where it's kind of like I'm here, I would like this. There's a deep sense of, what's the word I want to use here? Comfort, familiarity. Wow, it's nice to see someone who's not whack. Like there's quite a reflection you find in each other that brings you a lot of comfort and a lot of love. And you feel, she says yes, and you feel an acceptance in a way that is only amplified by the situations you're in where you're not being accepted. Where it's like if situations were different, you were both two single birds and you came together, that acceptance and that comfort and the love between you two would probably look something maybe more like this. But in the reverse, it's just showing me, well, it's amplified by the fact that we're living these similar, we're in these similar spaces where we don't get that from someone. So there's like the what you bring to each other, and then there's that lack from the other two. She says exactly. Yeah. So with this Five of Cups reverse, there to me that was like it's dealing with that sense of loss. Like it was like almost, and you confirmed that there too, like almost there. But it didn't happen. And it just, I feel like that. Well, hang on. Yeah. Almost what I would say, I want to say harder than you, but I'm looking at where he's at, like there was a deep sense of like heartbreak surrounding that happening. Whereas in your case, it was like that decision was on you. And it was, to me, that's like a retreating energy. So he said you chickened out. It was like, I was maybe ready to like I was just sort of comparing to get a sense of how that situation sort of took place. She says, "Aw." So the card I have, it kind of in the present with what's going on, I have the Six of Swords upright. And I like this a lot because his card was that Eight of Swords. One of his cards, and your card was that Four of Swords, where this is pretty beautiful. So I don't know if you guys have snuck out to maybe meet each other, or if you've met in person in some fashion. But I like this. And she says, I said I won't chicken out next time. And I want to say he believes you. Despite the fact that like there's still that level of hurt there, the hope was not lost through the hurt. That's an interesting thing to say. Sometimes when we get hurt, our hope gets lost. His hope didn't. He didn't lose his hope through that hurt. So I feel like your connection between you two is definitely still moving in a space where like the conversation is good. It's almost like we're planning our mutual escape plan, He'll be moving the boat and you'll be bringing the snacks. Like, I don't know. Or if maybe there's a kid involved, this doesn't have to be snacks. This is a little person, or it's something like that. But to me, it looks like you're both wanting to get on the same boat and go the same direction. That's what I want to say there. So your next question. So will we? Exactly. So let's take a look at the outcome of where we see this going. Okay. You can't just come out of a complicated situation uncomplicated. So I needed to like 3 cards to kind of give me a sense of the projection of where this is going. First card I have is the Two of Cups in reverse. Second card I have is the Ten of Wands in reverse. And the third card I have, the last card I have, is the Two of Wands upright. So if I was to like jump, spoiler to the end, I do actually see you two with that commitment, I do see it happening. But let's not jump over this complicatedness we have here. This Two of Cups in reverse, to me, that's showing a delay of sort of this happening, where it's like we're both wanting to get on the boat and move in the same direction. Had this card shown up to me upright, I would have said, you know, it kind of goes off without a hitch. But in reverse, I feel like not necessarily for the same reason that where you're saying you chickened out last time. I'm not really seeing that necessarily re-rearing its head, but with this 10 of Wands in reverse, I almost want to say like a logistical issue that would need to be sorted out before this could happen. If you're living with your person, he's living with his person, she says, yeah, been delayed and came back up. Certainly. So I feel like that's, if I'm looking at a projection future from now, I'm still seeing a bit more of a delay. So much as I would love to say like, girl, go tomorrow, I feel like this card to me is saying logistically, like, how is this actually going to work out? How are you going to leave? How am I going to leave? Where is all our stuff going to go? How can we get out? And with this card, with this 10 of Wands in reverse, either an element or an aspect of like safety for you both. She says, yes, both living with our people. Yeah. So it's it's not as simple as like you maybe have space or one of you could just move in with the other. It's like, hey, we both our asses need to find a new place to sit down, or, you know, we both need to find somewhere to be. And it's like, it's not that it can't happen. To me, with sorting out this logistics, figuring out where we're actually going to work, and I will bring that element back up of like safety, where it's like, you know, she says yes, LOL. Like, how do you actually want to do it? Do we have a plan? Let me take a look. You have a part of a plan. Strength reversed. I feel like you've probably thought through some of the bigger ticket items. But with this 10 of Swords reversed, when I'm saying it's the logistics, it's like, how actually are you going to get all of your things out of the house? Or is this a stepwise process? Am I calling a moving truck while my partner is at work? Like, literally planning this out moment by moment. How am I going to do this? How is this all going to work? How's he going to do it? Are we going to move in with other people? Are we going to move in right away together? So I would say in the moment where I'm trying to get a sense of this delay, I have the Strength card in reverse, where it feels like you've certainly started to tackle the beast, but the beast isn't all the way tackled just yet. From the element of like your safety, his safety, if you're dealing with partners that are, and this doesn't need to necessarily be like physical safety, but, you know, the safety of your things, people can get angry and that sort of thing. But I like the movement of this Two of Cups reversed into this Two of Wands upright, where I really feel like this connection is not happening. It's just delayed. And then to me, this feels like much more of a, where she says, yes, I think of everything. Lol, good. You say you do, but like, have you yet? Like, do you have? I don't blame that. I don't think that you can't. But I mean, like, in this moment, have we logistically thought of it all out? Make the plan, have it completely planned, and then I feel like you can certainly move forward. And what I really like about this Two of Wands as sort of the outcome, the final end card of this, is it's not an ace energy, but it's a dualistic energy, where it's like a new beginning of two, almost, if you want to say. It's almost like two Ace of Wands. I don't want to go there, but I feel like the second could probably be pretty good too. But I like this. She says not completely yet because it hasn't happened yet. Totally. And I think if the current path you were treading on was like already, you know, it was moving all the way towards exactly for this thing moving quite seamlessly, I probably would have had these cards in an upright. But I just want to bring that up. The fact that they came up in reverse is it feels like the future is still delayed from this being something that can happen quite quickly. But with this Two of Wands, like, I really like this. To me, it feels like a new beginning for two people, a better fit, a better match. This idea of kind of what we thought we could have had that was, you know, that slipped between our fingers before, having been brought back up again. Let me see. Let me just get one more card down here, because I do see this happening. She says yes. Yeah. Okay. So two more cards, just like, you know, opening up just a little bit more on how this is all, you know, gonna continue to play out. So I've got the Five of Wands in reverse, and then I have the Three of Wands. upright, which is quite lovely having that 3 of Wands and the 2 of Wands. So I feel like I really can't overlook the fact that if we're looking at 2 dots on a timeline, the dot between this moment and the moment where you two can like be together in a way that looks, peaceful with the 2 of you, like I can't overlook the fact that like, yeah, there's a bit of a kerfuffle to do that, figuring things out logistically, working that out with your partner, because you both probably have partners that are going to be very resistant to the idea of you guys moving on. And you probably even have people, and to me with this 5 of Wands, it's like there's even other people's fingers in the pot. We've got, technically we're talking about 4 people on the table, right? You, your partner, him, and his partner. And then there's like, we get 5 people here. It's like, so either friends delaying this thing or people even questioning towards you. Are you sure you want to do this? You have these things, so you might be met with resistance that is outside of the boundary of like the resistance from your partner and him in the same situation. But again, I'm talking about you, my dear. So I will say, not something you can't handle, but what I'm seeing, buckle up for that. And then I really like these two particular cards here. They're very fresh start kind of energies for me. This is like reaping the results of the planning of this 10 of Wands. Like to me, this is like we got the chaotic wands, and then we finish on like the nice wands. I like that's quite a nice story. I really like that. So I'm gonna pull an oracle card for you here with the Sacred Travelers here to just take a look at what the oracle deck has to say for traversing the road ahead, shall we say. She says, as long as we get to the nice and happy, lol. I do see it. Absolutely. Like I said, we've got future, short-term future, a certain amount of kerfuffle, and then we do have both of these, like, these really, like, I think this is a good choice. If I was doing this reading for myself, wanting to know if I should make this move, I would. Because it feels like, and on his end, I can say he's not happy, but I can really see on your end, you're not getting what you need from your connection either. And I think you know him well enough to know what you're getting into here too. To me, there's not a lot of, like the Fool isn't here. Like I don't have cards that are all about like risk and throwing things to the wind, where it's like we're talking about things like logistics. We're talking about stuff that's like, we're talking about actually like the plan in place to do this particular thing. And she says, yeah, yay, I'm glad you said that like that. Yeah, I would. Because to me, I don't see relationship fulfillment present, and looking at the future with this person, I do. Again, I'm not going to say it's it's roses to get there, but I do think that journey is worth it. So let's take a look what we have to say here with the Sacred Travelers Oracle. Oh, this is so cute. This is same LOL good, and no, I'm not crazy. No, certainly not crazy, and not just like uncalculated risks. Like we're dealing with, this person. There's a bit a thread established here. I like this. Yeah. And one of the things too, that with the 2 of Cups reversed, also don't be surprised if maybe your timelines, when I say your timelines are not completely aligned, it's not going to have any impact on you two being together at the end. Because again, that's the conclusion I'm seeing 100%. But it might be like you make your move, he makes his move. Like, you know what I mean? It's maybe not each of you matching each other's steps along the way, but do be prepared for that, because each of your journeys to get out of your similar challenging situations are going to look different. So the 2 oracle cards I have here, this is so sweet. The first one I have is Transformation. It says, a fresh new way of living emerges. And it's the beautiful phoenix rising from the smoke and the ashes there. That's so nice. And the second card I have here is Miracles. It says, expect the wondrous to emerge. It's a guy with his genie in a bottle. And both of these cards are just, and this deck isn't like a fluffy bunny one. It's not going to always just tell me, nice, good things. I'll just say that because some decks do. There's like stop, no, wrong way stuff in this deck. But I really like both of these particular cards because it's like, yeah, through a transformation, a fresh new way of living emerges. This is a very big change. She says, yay, and oh my God, it's a phoenix. I have stories about those. Okay. That's wonderful. So if that symbolism is speaking to something additional, I like that. So run with that, my darling. And this miracles here, expect the wondrous to emerge. Both of these cards are really saying to me, like, this is the right path. I don't have the obstacle card here. I don't have the barren wasteland. Like, that's actually a card in this deck. This is something like, anyway. So there you are, my darling. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you so much. It was so lovely to get to chat with you. And please keep me posted on this situation as this progresses, because I feel like, it's going to take a bit of time to get this all together, to, make this thing happen. If you need some words of encouragement, I'm here every Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern time. And, you can always come back. Please just let me know how things are going. If you need any, I want to hear updates. I'm here to help you through this one. She says, I definitely will. LOL. Wonderful. Oh, guys, this has been so great. This is so nice. That was such a wonderful surprise. Elise is such a doll. Thank you, darling. So, yes, we have reached the end of the show. And thank you guys for sticking around, for hanging out with me. This has been so much fun. I just adore this show, and I adore everybody who spends their time, watching the show, hanging out with me, throwing in their questions. Again, if you didn't get a chance to get a reading tonight, definitely do come back tomorrow between 8 and 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Go to My Psychic Connection on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you like, and you can come and get a reading done with Journey Ryan and friends. The show is amazing, and then we're back on our regular schedule next week. So thanks, everybody. I'm going to sign off. I wish everybody well. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their evening, the rest of their day, and an excellent weekend ahead. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have a wonderful rest of your night. Mwah! Bye-bye.